Yes, this is Tactical Radio on Tactical United. And I'm here discussing again certain situations about Manchester United because I am actually completely frustrated with it and I'm completely uh, baffled that, there's still people out there that believe that, you know, Manchester United can do well under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when there's so many facts that prove that he can't. I mean, you know, let's start from the beginning because that's where it all started when he got the job, and he became interim manager, and we went on a run with a certain formation, a certain team. We played the same team every game. We played with complete freedom, but we've never played with freedom before. Except, I think with Ollie, like it's really it's really simple. But I'm gonna get into it. Like he played with a freedom that we've never had before, because there was no pressure to perform. There was no pressure to do well, and then he got the job, and then what happened is pressure came on and we started falling apart. That's what the first thing happened, and we shouldn't have never gave him the job in the first place. But when the pressure came on, when expectancy grew, he couldn't handle it, and we didn't perform. And then again against, and then in the next season, 2019-20, he wasn't performing at the beginning of the season. He spent 150 million or 130 odd million on Dan James, Maguire, and Wan-Bissaka. He started going on about how the defense has improved, how our defense is sorted now. He basically was saying the defense is sorted. That's what he was basically saying. And and now, a year later, or over a year and a half later, our defense is a shambles. And the same thing happened. So there was pressure for him to perform, pressure for him to do well in the beginning of that season, and we didn't perform. We started drawing games, we started losing games, and then what happened after that is that we bought Bruno Fernandes, and then we got to lockdown, and we was like so far away from the top, and then after that after that we went from lockdown with no pressure. We didn't think we was gonna get top three, and then we got to the top three, and we did it. But we did it because we played with no pressure throughout those games. And then it's funny. The thing is, when we realized we could have actually got top three, we started drawing games, and then we just won that last game against Leicester, and got it. So again, it was the pressure. Again, the pressure came on top. We just scraped our way through to top three. Let's be honest, but we had a good run, and then the last few games in that lockdown period before the end of this last season, we started failing, and then we got knocked out Champions League, and knocked out by Sevilla. We lost the FA Cup. Pressure, like he can't handle pressure. Like this is a fact with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He cannot handle pressure. Okay, this season we went into the Champions League. Yeah, we went into the Champions League. First two games against PSG and Leipzig were our hardest games, and we thought, oh my god, like we've just beaten both of them. Like we're definitely qualified, and we slacked against the Shikatir, and then we beat them at home. But then when the pressure was on to perform, and the possession pressure was on to get a result, we couldn't even get draws. We just got straight losses by Leipzig and PSG, and we got knocked out. And that again is a proof that we cannot handle pressure. Semi-finals against Man City, got knocked out. Got to the top of the table. Yeah, top of the table. What happened? Got to the top. He can't handle pressure, and he was saying in his interviews, I'm not thinking about titles, because he don't want to think about it because it's too much pressure. If he starts thinking about titles and stuff, then he has to accept that it's on him. I think he doesn't like to take responsibility. I think he can't handle responsibility. I think he wants all his responsibility on his coaches, all his responsibility on his players, on the and everyone but him. He just he doesn't look at himself. He doesn't look at himself ever and take responsibility, because pressure for him, he cannot deal with. He cannot deal with the pressure. Like he's a weak guy, and we got to the top of the table, and we was top, clearly top, and now like we was top in was it the 1st of January, and now today is the 16th of February, and we're like, I think we're 8 points behind with them having a game in hand or something like that. Some man was like, yeah, 8 points behind with them having a game in hand. Embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Like, you know, you could talk about, yeah, but it's improving, but that's not improving. Like, you can't go to some. It's like climbing on a mountain. Then like you're halfway there. You're like, oh my god, like I'm doing it in record time, yeah. And then you just start falling backwards. You just start, you know, and then you say you've progressed because you're falling backwards. You're not progressing by falling backwards. You're going backwards. Like, progression is not going backwards. Progression is going forwards. If we got, the way I'd see progression is that if we was top and then we maintained a certain level of performance and a certain standard of results against trash teams like West Brom, then you can see the progress. But there is no progress because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is tactically stubborn. He's tactically stubborn. And because he's tactically stubborn, he doesn't understand that he prefers players' happiness over formations. Like, you know, I'll give you examples. Like, he won't take off. He'll play certain players like Rashford all the time. Martial, he'll try to fit in every now and then when he shouldn't be playing games. Like, Martial shouldn't be playing games. I mean, these are the same players that bottled it in semi-finals and finals. But semi-final, not even finals. These are the same players, yeah, that bottled finals and semi-finals and top place and bottled after going on these runs. And, you know, you could blame the players, you could blame the manager. I personally blame the manager because he selects the players. He persists with players, you know. These are the same players that are doing that, and you keep persisting with the Rashfords and the Martials. Rashfords and Martials ain't won nothing. Like, they've won a little FA Cup, they've won a League Cup and a Europa League, but let's be honest, the managers won those trophies, not like the players did help. Obviously, they did help, and you know, but with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he can't manage to get the players to do what he needs to do. He can't manage them to perform when they need to perform. He can't do it. He's not capable of doing it. So you got that issue, you know. And, you know, he spent 17 million on players since arriving at the club in 2 summers. And, you know, people talk about the board. People always want to blame the board. People always want to say the board are to blame, this, that and the other. Like, the board haven't backed him, this, that and the other. But listen, why spend 40 million on Diallo? Why spend 7 million on Pellistri? Why spend 35 million on Van der Beek if you don't want to start? Like, why are you spending all this money on players that you ain't going to start with, like, to build the squad? Like, what you do is you buy players better than the players you have, yeah? And the players that are playing go back to the bench, and that's how you build your squad. But he's afraid to upset players. That's what I'm saying. He prefers players' happiness over what's best for the team. He doesn't care about what's best for the team. He cares about what's best for the players' happiness. Fred and McTominay are playing every game. Fred is clearly, like, to be honest, Fred is not good enough. I'm saying it, like, he's, do you know what? Fred is only good in sporadically. You know, Fred can come in like 1 in 4. That's how I see Fred. Fred is a type of 1 in 4 player. He's not a first team regular. He's not, because his passing is too erratic. You cannot build anything with Fred. He's not a great passer. He doesn't provide anything attacking wise. Defensively, he's okay, but like, he's small. And you know, when we're trying to play a possession game, when we're here to dominate teams and stuff, why is Fred in the team? Like, we're not going to dominate anything with Fred. McTominay, he's not really a creative midfielder. He has no creativity. He can score a goal. Good luck to him. But creativity wise, nothing. So you got 2 players in your midfield that don't provide anything creativity for our team. So your midfield is becoming redundant when you play against teams that you're dominating the ball. Your midfield becomes redundant. It's redundant. It's a redundant midfield. And you know, he still sticks with these players because he doesn't want to upset them. He prefers players' happiness over what's better for the team. And he's Manchester United manager. He's stubborn, very stubborn. You know, he's just too loyal to play. You know, he bought Van der Beek, he bought Telles, he bought Pellistri, he bought Diallo. You know, yeah, and Cavani obviously, and you know, Cavani's the only one playing games. Cavani's the only one that's playing games regularly, and he's 34. And you know, a 34 you bought a 34-year-old for free to come in the first team, and you think that's gonna change anything that we're doing? Like, it's not gonna change nothing. Like, the fact remains that Oli couldn't get the best out of Martial again this season. Martial can't get the best out of himself this season. So, you know, and you know, I'm not really a Martial fan anymore. I was at one point, but not anymore. I think Martial is proven to me that he's not a top player, because his mentality is not top. He has the ability, but even the things that he does, when I look at what he does, mainly he does the same things over and over again. It's very predictable. Very predictable, Martial. He does the same things over and over again when you really look at it. The dribbling, the way he finishes, what he does, the way he passes, it's very predictable. It's everything he does is predictable. Like, when he was fresh, yeah, it's not predictable because you're not sure. But now watching him year after year, you know exactly what he's going to do, and defenders know that too. So he's getting stale because he's not doing anything different. But hold on a minute, coaches aren't teaching him anything different. Coaches aren't telling him to do anything different. They're just telling him to go out and express himself. This is what I'm saying. You know, we've got like coaches not doing the right job for our, not doing the right job for our players. You know, this is what's happening. Our coaching system is poor. Our patterns of play are non-existent. Our defense is terrible. Like, Lindelof and Maguire are as bad as each other. Like, let's be honest, they're both good at some things, but they're both crap at other things. And you know, I wouldn't have either of them in my starting lineup. I would have I'll have Bain and another defender. This is just what I would do. I would play, you know, whatever. I would probably play Luke Shaw and Bae if I was the manager. I know that sounds mad, but I would. I don't care. Like, I'm not interested in these two idiots. Like, they're like, Lindelof's not an idiot. Maguire is. Jacob is an idiot. But Lindelof is not an idiot. But unfortunately, he just doesn't have the attributes that is required at this level. At the Premier League winning level, even at a Champions League level, even at a Europa League level, I'm not even sure. I think he's just a bulk standard Premier League defender, if the way I see him. And yeah, I just you know, nothing that Ollie's doing is conducive to success. Like, he's been a manager for 12 years and he's not coming close to winning anything of significance. You know, he keeps employing all these, you know, he employs his friends that he's trust. He basically has trust issues. Ollie basically has trust issues. He doesn't trust people. He only trusts people that he knows, and that's why he can't recruit he can't recruit coaches that he doesn't know, because all the coaches that he's recruited, he knows them. He's worked with them before. But like, the coaches that he's worked with before haven't been successful. So the players that he buys aren't players that he buys to oust other players. He buys players to support the players that he already has. But we haven't won anything with the players that we have. So why don't you want to buy players to improve? People talk about, yeah, and what frustrates me the most is in the news, in certain YouTube channels, people talk about Ollie's wanting to buy a centre back, and he didn't get the centre back and the CDM he wanted. He never wanted a CDM. He thinks McTominay's the guy. He thinks Fred is the guy. He never wanted a CDM. And centre backs, we both know that everybody who watches football knows that Bae is better than Lindelof and Maguire. But he's better than one of them. Or both of them. So why don't you play Bae? The reason why he doesn't play Bae, because he says he's clearly indicated that Lindelof and Maguire is his best centre back pairing. He's indicated that. But people still think that this guy wants a centre back. It's madness. It's madness. Like, he doesn't want a centre back. He wanted a winger. He wanted a right winger. That's what he wanted. He didn't get it. That's what he wanted. He didn't want a centre back. Like, I don't want to hear this talk. I hate hearing this talk about he wants a centre back. Ollie doesn't want one. Everyone else does, because we have brains. Ollie is blindly loyal to players because he has trust issues. He's probably afraid of players turning on him, or afraid of upsetting people. Like, he has trust issues. And this is the issue with Ollie. He does not trust new players. Like, he doesn't trust them. Look how long it took for him to get rid of Lingard. Lingard should have gone season before. But it took him so long to get rid of him because it's like he can't do it. Dan James, a waste of a signing. What a waste of 50 million. I said this from the day I saw him on YouTube clips. I saw him on YouTube clips. Fuck it. I don't care. I saw him on YouTube clips, and I can see man's technical ability on the YouTube clips. You can spice it up as much as you like. He's not a top quality. He's not a top quality player. So this is the key. This is the key, and Oli will someday needs to understand, because he's gonna get sacked. I want him sacked, and he won't. He will get sacked. He will get sacked. There's no doubt about it, because he's a shit manager. So he will get sacked one day, whenever that day is. Whenever that day does come, whatever. But he will get sacked because he's not good enough, and you know, it would just be a waste of time with Oli, because you know right now we have quality players that can do. Why can't we win the Europa League? This team should be able to win the Europa League, but we both know that Oli is not going to win the Europa League. Why? Because he's going to do certain things to make us lose. That's what he's going to do. Like, it's simple as that. We're not going to win Europa League. I would like to win Europa League. I would like to get second. I would say if he wins Europa League and gets second, that's a top quality season. The fact that we got knocked out of Champions League ain't that great, but if you win Europa League, it makes up for it. Nothing else does. So you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm Tactical Red. This is Tactical United. Enjoy your day.